Hi guys, and welcome back to another tutorial. Today we're going to be doing Twilight Sparkle from My Little Pony. And all you need is a sheet of paper, landscape, which will help with the drawing of the horse, pencil of your choice, an eraser, and a marker pen to go over with a thick line at the very end. So if the camera stays in focus, we can make a start. So I'm going to start off by drawing a circle to map out where a head would kind of be. If I roughly divide the page in half, then you can fold it if you want. I'm just going to draw a very faint line to give me an idea of where the middle of the page is. You probably can't even see that on camera, but you want to draw it on the right hand side, so closer towards the middle. And just draw a nice round circle. Take your time with it. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just try and make it the best circle you can make it. This is going to be her head. So coming down to her body, we're going to draw another circle on the left hand side of the page, closer towards the center. Closer towards the center line that we've just marked out for ourselves, and it's going to be slightly smaller. Hopefully this will all become clear soon enough. This is going to be roughly where her bum is. So we're going to draw a line connecting the two circles from the bottom of this circle to almost near the middle of this circle. It's a nice big curve marking out where the bottom of her body is. Just zoom in a little bit more there. And then I'm going to map out where her feet are going to be. So if you come here towards the bottom of the page, I'm going to do a big circle here. Well, I say big, but it's small. It's smaller than the other two circles, but I'm going to do a circle here. One next to it. You don't have to press too hard on at this point, because these are just going to be guidelines for where her feet are going to be. The hooves are going to be. I'm going to redo that last one. And then I'm going to do another little circle in between this curve and this bottom circle here. It's going to be where her knee is. So we've got roughly this kind of bent shape here, a line going straight down there, one here, and one here. These two might be a little bit far out, but we'll see how we get on when we get closer to that. See if the camera can stay focused. Okay. So if we take a look at where her face is going to be, I'm just going to fill in this gap here. So if you come around using the bottom of this curve, go all the way around the circle and go downwards and up again. That's going to more or less form her neck. So now I'm going to focus on the face. So if I zoom in, I should have used a darker pencil. So we're going to draw that basic cross that you tend to do to mark out people's eyes. She's going to be facing towards the right hand side of the page. And what I love about these My Little Pony characters, they have huge eyes that take up most of the page, most of their face, sorry, not the page. So I'm going to do like a squashed circle there. And try and do use this as a guide as to where the second eye is going to be. And because we're only seeing part of her second eye, it's going to be a very, very squashed eye, using the bigger circle as a guideline. So if underneath where our two eyes are, if you just draw another circle, this is going to mark out her muzzle, roughly where our muzzle is going to be, and we can join up the bottom of her chin with the end of that. There we go. And I want to draw her ear and her hair before we start adding detail to her eyes. So right about where this line meets this bigger head circle, we're going to start doing another squashed circle, like an oval shape here. Well, maybe that's a little bit too long. This is why we need an eraser. And then her hair, it's got a really cool shape. It like comes out like a big wave. It's just like almost like a very, very really subtle S shape, coming from the middle of her ear out to over here. It's quite far out. And then a line. And it's just going to peek into her first eye that we've just drawn. And draw a little curve there. And this is going to be her fringe. Or if you're American, you would say bangs. Which I still don't understand the meaning of. Don't understand the meaning of fringe either, actually. I don't know why we call it fringe. Don't know why Americans call it bangs. And while we're here, we're just going to map out her unicorn horn. So you can use this line as a basic guide from where to start. It's not going to go beyond her hair, but it's not a harsh point. It's very subtle, which is nice for children's characters, I guess. Right, so we've got the basic face shape here. You can see, hopefully it's starting to take shape. It's been a while since I've done one of these tutorials, so I'm hoping and praying they all goes to plan. Excuse me, I'll just plug in the battery. Right, okay. Her eyes. One of my favourite parts of doing drawings is drawing eyes. So we're going to do a smaller circle within this eye here that we mapped out earlier. Nice round oval shape. And these, when we come to doing eyes, it is circles within circles. So we're going to do another lighter, smaller oval, and this is going to be the pupil. And then we're going to do a smaller one over here. This is going to be a highlight, and then we're going to do a tiny one inside. That's going to be another highlight. Just going to rub that middle out a little bit so you can see it a little bit more clearer. Now you want to kind of repeat this process over here. I know you've got less space to do it in, so you just need to take your time, be careful, do a big circle. You want to make sure it's touching the edge of her face. Do a smaller circle, another highlight, and a tiny highlight here. I'm just going to colour in really roughly where the pupil will be, so it just looks better. It looks like you can figure out what you're looking at more. It's got nice almond eyes, so using this circle that we drew earlier, we want to come and add a bit more of a defining line to the top, come down into a point, use this nice circle as a guide. There we go. And she's got 3 little eyelashes on the bottom, kind of near in the middle. And 3 on the top, right near this point that we made earlier. Well, it's not really a point on the top, it's a point in the crevice, in the middle of her eye. We've got 1, 2, 3. Before, when I did tutorials, I never used to finish it off with a line, like line art with a marker. And I'm hoping this time when I do it, it'll just make it pop a little bit more and feel a bit more cartoony and more finished. Because it's so nice when you're drawing at this stage with pencils. Just 3 at the top again. But it can be less defined when you're doing it with pencils, which is like a blessing and I guess a curse sometimes. Depends what look you're going for. If you want a more finished off look, it's nicer to finish it with a marker. So we don't need to worry about bottom eyelashes for this side of the eye, for this right hand side. So we're just going to use where the bottom of this eye comes, this nice curve here, we're going to use that as the start of her muzzle, going into this circle that we made earlier and coming round. You don't want like a harsh point on her nose. Come down, in and round. Down and round. Now, I want this to be nice and flat. These circles that I put in earlier are just a guide, so sometimes I can see where it's not right, but I can use it against the new line that I'm drawing, if that makes sense. I just want a little U looking mark there, just to mark her nose. And you can see that's her face done. So if we come over here and start from the bottom of her ear, come right round into another soft point, and then down again, and then we want to do like a little line here, just marking out where the inside of her ear is. And I think I'm going to mark out the rest of her hair, and then I'm going to go in and add the detail to her hair in a bit. So we drew earlier where the basic body shape is going to be. So starting from the ear, I'll come down and do like a nice, it's like a loose letter L. And you want to do a curved line that kind of uses this body as a guide, so it wants to run parallel to the edge of her body, but come closer and closer to her tummy as you're getting down. And then you want to come back up. So this is going to be a rough guide as to where her hair is, her mane, and then up almost to a point, but not exactly to a point. So you want a fine space, a small space in between those two lines. Just going to rub out this little section here. So now I've done that, I want to do like there's a little gap in her hair, and it happens in her fringe as well. So we just want to add in like a little cut mark, like a little point, a sharp point, and then parallel to them points you just want to draw some lines, and this is going to kind of add like a little bit more texture into her mane and just give the appearance of like hair strands, I guess. It's nice to have that blockiness in these characters. When you've got like a nice geometrical shape showing where the hair is, you can add just a few lines, and you don't have to add too many lines with cartoons because just a few will give you that illusion of like strands. So, and it's just a nice look and design, I guess, as well. So we've got some strands there. And then back to her, where we've marked out her fringe earlier. We want to just define these edges just a little bit more. And just past her horn, add another kind of cut, like a pointy section there, lack of a better word. Come up. Round and just follow the shape. And then just draw some lines as well. Like we mentioned earlier, she does have a nice streak in her hair. And I'm just going to go over this unicorn horn. Add more definition. Two curved lines to show like the rivets in the horn. A lot of line work here. Just going to rub out one of these lines. I think I might go back and shade this in a minute so you can see. You can see more clearly where the streak is going to be. It's got a lovely pink streak of hair. Okay, it's more or less top done. So if we go down, following her chest, we're going to add in her feet and her hooves and then do the tail very last. So earlier we had these two circles here, well there's three altogether. So if we, just before this line that I did earlier, if that's going to be like her skeleton, her like bones, I just want to make the first line above that line. Use this circle that I did for her knee as a rough guide. Come right down. So many nice like round shapes with these characters. Follow this bottom circle up. Come up to a point. And then round. That's her first leg. Just do a line behind it. Use these circles again as guidelines. I'm going to do just behind her leg there. So the thickness is more or less matching. Just going to bring her tummy down just a tiny little bit more than what I had done earlier. And then do her back leg. Come down again using this circle as a rough idea. You want to try and line up these legs as well. Might help if you have a ruler, mark out where your ground is going to be. It'll help you a little bit with the consistency. Come round for the hoof. Nice big and wide hoof. Go up, but not all the way to the top. And you slowly want it to be getting thinner as you reach the top, but just before the top you dip down for the back of her leg. And do this nice curved line, meeting the back of her rump for that nice circle that we mapped out early in the start of the video. Her leg might be slightly too thick, so I'm just going to thin it just slightly. Again, always handy to have an eraser around to help you with this. If you make mistakes, it's fine. And then the last leg, pretty simple. Just a little bit further up than the other leg, so you don't want them meeting exactly. There you go. And then a tail. But hopefully you should have something that looks like this, which is basically, it's not exactly on brand. Obviously I don't work for My Little Pony, so it doesn't look exactly like her, but I'm pretty pleased with how this has turned out. I'm just actually I was going to go into the tail, but I'm just going to mark out where her cutie mark is, which is a star with 6 points on. So actually you could even start with just drawing lines for each point. So it's like an X and then one line going in the middle. And then just fill out the points afterwards. That makes a star. I'm just looking a little bit closer at cutie mark, because when I did the Sia video, the Songbird Serenade, I kind of made the cutie mark up as I went along because I couldn't really see it properly, and forever I was getting comments afterwards of how I got her cutie mark wrong. So she's got the main star with 6 points in the middle. So I'll just colour that in quickly, just so it's blocked in. Then behind those she's got like white ones, white little points coming out. And then she's got 5 little stars around it. So I'm just going to do 3 of those stars because we can't really see all of her rump. And these stars do have 6 points on them. I'm just doing 5 right now for quickness. I've realised I wasn't zoomed in for that, so hopefully you can see what I'm going for. If not, you can always Google the cutie mark and just look at it yourself. Right, so for the tail, so we've got like a huge, really nice big shape here. So I'm just going to come in and do like a big whoosh. almost like half of a love heart, coming from the middle of her rump right round to the bottom of her hoof, and then almost follow the shape around again. So we've got something like that. So the bottom half is hard, nice hard line, again with this point that keeps reoccurring in her character design. I'm going to come up, round. I really love the shape. Right into her rump. Follow this down. And again, she's got this gorgeous pink streak in the middle. So it's like the biggest line section, and then like an extra purple streak down here. And then she's not got too many lines actually, apart from that. So you don't need to go crazy with these lines. Kind of looks like a rainbow without any colour here. So when you've got to a stage where you're like really happy with how it's looking, you can just go in and get a marker. You can use a biro pen, just any pen that... It's better off not to use a pen that bleeds really easy, but if you've got no access to any other pens, just go for a biro. I'm using this one, I forgot the name of it. I think it's like Pentel Touch, but I will link it below. It's a nice... It's not exactly a brush pen, but it gives... It's almost like a brush pen because it gives fat lines and thin lines as well when you want detail. So I'm just going to finish up and add some detail to her, and then she'll be done. Okay guys, so there you have it. This is, there it is. it's done. So hopefully it's been of help. Hopefully you found this tutorial helpful, and it helped you draw, it helped you understand how to build a character a little bit more. If you want to watch more of my videos, you can see some right now, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.